tell them suckers to move. I ain't in the mood. Got me with the crew, let me do what I do. I tell them suckers to poof. Got me in the booth, lobby in the truth, let me do what I do. Yeah, remember when the U come through, enter the music jungle. Or back with the block, I used to rock, I used to fumble. I still rock down, drop the ball when I run through. I drop the classic shit, and drop the ball.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the OnlyFights podcast. My name is Manny.
This is Alberto.
What's up, y'all? We had a pretty slow weekend.
Right? Yeah, not too many fights.
Mm-hmm. First off, I want to start by saying rest in peace to Jeanette Zepeda. You know, very young, 18.
Damn.
She died after suffering a pretty bad stoppage where she didn't really get knocked out. She kind of just took a lot of punches, and she took a punch at the end of the round. I forget what round it was, but she kind of just leans back into the corner, and she's in a neutral corner. So the round is over. She couldn't even walk to her corner, and her trainer had to get over, and the referee stopped the fight. It was pretty bad. She was recently knocked out in May.
Yeah. And
was able to pass the exams and all the neurological stuff to get to this fight, but it's unfortunate. So rest in peace. Condolences to her family. And
when was that fight?
Saturday.
Damn.
Yeah.
And then what? She was probably taken to the hospital.
Yeah. Last Saturday, not
okay.
this past Saturday, but
damn.
I think sometime this week.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's a dangerous sport. Combat sports is.
Yeah, it happens.
Brutal,
it happens in the sport. It's crazy.
Yeah, but we had Dazn. I wasn't able to catch all the fights, man, but so I didn't see like the Ebony Bridges fight or the Hughes fight.
And, when were those? Friday night?
Saturday.
Oh.
It was over in UK. I guess so was the UFC, right? That was out there in that time zone.
Well, it was in Vegas, but they had it at 4.
Oh, okay.
But it had to have been so that everybody in the UK could watch it.
Right.
To
cater to that audience.
Yeah. Because it was all, even in the UFC, like, it was almost all UK fighters. Not all, but, it was like a UK fighter versus somebody else.
Right.
So I think they brought, they just brought them all over on one trip.
Like Irish and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That whole part of the world. With their time zone, that's what's up, man.
I'm sure because of COVID too, They figured to just bring.
Yeah.
I'm sure they probably got a quarantine and shit, so they figured they'd do it, a bunch more fighters and less.
So on Dazn, what I was able to catch was the Connor Benn and Adrian Granados fight. That was supposed to be the first fight for Fight Camp, but that got pushed back because of COVID. I think Connor Benn had COVID, yeah. And, I guess the question really was, at first, to see how Connor Benn would look against somebody like Adrian Granados, who's a pretty seasoned veteran. Only ever been stopped by Danny Garcia, and only ever lost a top competition. I thought he was a decent step up for Connor Benn. Plus, Connor Benn having to come back from COVID. He was really... reckless and explosive. Granados being as good as he was, defensively responsible, and try to exploit the recklessness, but started to get caught, and I think he was just kind of just there to survive throughout the fight. He didn't really seem to do much. Started taunting at the end when Connor Benn was getting mad. Stuff like that. And then they slugged it out for a very brief moment at the end of the fight in the last round, in the 10th. But nonetheless, Connor Benn gets a decision. And he looked decent. I don't think when you compare him to, like Virgil Ortiz or Boots Ennis, I don't think he's on their level.
Yeah.
But, not a bad win for Connor Benn on the Dazn card. That was the first fight that I seen. But the co-main was Katie Taylor taking on Jennifer Hahn for her Undisputed title. We just saw Amanda Serrano, get a really good victory under her belt. So, I was really interested to see how Katie Taylor was going to look against Jennifer Hahn. First 2 rounds, pretty good, competitive. I gave him to Katie, but you know they were swing rounds to me.
Yeah.
Jennifer was looking good in the beginning, but Katie started to figure her out, and you know, boxed well. You know, started landing some good big shots, good combinations. She drops her in the 8th round, and from there, you know, Han was just tired and frustrated, and yeah, Katie looked great. She remains undefeated, and I look forward to seeing her take. I hope she could take on Amanda Serrano next, because that's the fight that I'd really like to see, that we all want to see.
So she was already undisputed?
Yeah.
All right.
Then we go to the main event that I was really looking forward to, the rematch between Josh Warrington and Mauricio Lara. You know, Warrington being the big favorite in the first fight, getting stopped, big upset. So now we move on to the rematch, and first 2 rounds, very good, very fun, competitive rounds. I gave the first one to Josh and the second one to Lara. I thought they were slugging hard, and Warrington, like he leads with his head, and you know, catches him with a headbutt, and leaves a really big bad damage in his eye.
Yeah.
And it was pretty bad, man. I can't knock the referee for. I think the doctor made him stop the fight.
Damn.
But it was under 4 rounds, so it was a technical draw, which I thought should have been a no contest. I don't really understand the technical draw.
Yeah.
But you know, it is what it is. So that fight wasn't much of a fight,
Yeah,
even though it was in those first 2 rounds, man. It was fun. You know, it was really fun. I was looking forward to, you know, and even when I seen the headbutt, I was like, damn, I didn't, you know, thought the referee might have taken a point right then and there.
Yeah.
Looked a little egregious, but nonetheless, yeah, the fight had to get stopped, and that was the end of that. You know, that whole card, just like that.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Other than that, you know, it was a pretty good card, though. I didn't catch the earlier fights, but, you know, I heard the Ebony Bridges fight was controversial. She gets a decision. You know, I didn't see the fight, so I can't really comment on it. But so, you know, then I tuned over to UFC. I didn't know it was during the day, man. I thought it was going to be one of those regular time bouts. So by the time the Dazn card was over, especially ending early, I was like, bet I got time to watch all the UFC fights. And as soon as I turned it on, there went the main event.
Yeah, I had no idea either. It was gonna start at 4. Main card started at 4, and then but now it makes sense. I didn't think of that, but it was probably because they had all, you know, so many fighters from the UK. They figured they have it at a time where they could all watch it. It was alright. It wasn't too bad of a card. The main event started with the debut of Paddy Pimblett. Yeah. He's from Cage Warriors, I guess.
Yeah, I've seen him before.
I've heard of him. And, you know, seen him on Instagram and shit. He blew up this weekend though. He had a big knockout. So like on Instagram, his followers like doubled. Like,
oh yeah,
he went crazy. But yeah, it was a hell of a debut. Like it was only lasted a round. I only saw the knockout event. You know, initially I had only seen the knockout. So I'm glad I went back and watched the fight, because we saw that you know, he got not knocked down, but he got cracked really good with like a big left hook.
Yeah.
In the first round. I mean, didn't really get hurt, but it didn't seem like he got hurt, but he got taken down right away after that. You know, we were saying he probably was losing that first round up until the very end. I think he catches him with a left, and then notices he's hurt, and then, you know, goes into killer mode, like just starts swinging, throwing knees, like, and then hit him with a bunch of shots. The dude took a bunch of shots before he finally went down.
He landed 3 right hooks, like almost in a row. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he has to work on his defense. Like, I mean, his chin specifically, man. He you know, he's too hunched over. He has to kind of tighten that up a little.
Yeah, DC called it right away. He was like, he got his chin right up in the air, and then like right after that's when he got cracked.
Yeah. And
he got cracked a couple more times. Like, he definitely
he did. Yeah, he took a lot of shots.
Yeah, he definitely was you know. Yeah, definitely got a hell of a chin. Didn't have a scratch on him afterwards either. The guy he was fighting, Luigi Vendramini. No. It was funny. They said his nickname was the Italian Stallion, but they showed the Portuguese flag, or no, the Brazilian flag. The Brazilian flag. So I don't know. It's weird, but yeah, that was a hell of a debut. You know what I mean? I think the kid, he's a lightweight too, so, you know, that division's already stacked.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to see what they do with him. He reminds me a lot of Bisping. It's funny that Bisping was the one, you know, interviewing him afterwards, but he reminds me a lot of a young Bisping. Like, you could barely understand him. He got such, like, a heavy accent.
Yeah.
It was cool. It sounds like a super villain. Like you said, almost like another Connor in the making, like, the way he talks and shit.
Yeah.
And definitely was fun to watch. Like, that shit was entertaining. And, you know, he faced some adversity there. Got hit fucking good.
Yeah.
The
debut.
The second fight, like, light heavyweight, Modestas Bukakis versus Khalil Roundtree. Khalil Roundtree, I've seen him fight a bunch of times. He's been around for a while. He's always good, but I don't know. He seems to, like, struggle, and I think in just, like, pulling it off at the end, like, wins. I don't know, because I think he's coming off like 2 losses, but this is an impressive win. He came out strong. I think he might have knocked him down in the first round. I think it was the first round he knocked him down, and was really just putting pressure on him. Like, the guy was backing up the whole time, like, you know, like pretty fast, almost like people would say, I guess, running. I would say probably was kind of running away from him the whole time. He was just, like, stalking him. You know what I mean? Like, it was crazy. I thought it looked like the knockout was gonna happen any second, and he knocked him down once, and the dude got right back up. Second round, dude survived that round. Second round, Khalil, you could tell right away, was so tired. Like, you could tell, like, that shit weird on him right away. But he started throwing that, like, sideways kick that John Jones kind of throws, like, right at the knee, like, you know, straight on, like, right at the knee. And that's how he finishes the fight. He throws, like, he times it perfectly, and kicks him right in the knee sideways, and, like, bends his knee the opposite way. It was pretty, it was a little graphic. Bends his knee the opposite way, and the guy instantly just drops to the ground, and the ref just stops it right away. It was a little, people were saying, you know, it's a little controversial. People were saying that knee, you know, that kick shouldn't be allowed. Yeah. And I have seen John Jones throw it a lot. When people are coming forward, it's kind of his way to just, like, keep them back. Like, he'll, like, kick you right on your knee and kind of try to force it back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hate that, man. I got like, a lot of knee problems, so just watching that, even thinking about it, man, that hurts, man. Yeah,
it's pretty graphic. I mean, you know, nothing, no, like, bone breaking, but just, like, the knee bending like that, it was pretty crazy. And, you know, that could possibly end somebody's career, you know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You could fucking tear everything in the fucking knee, and that's never going to be the same. But he got the win, you know. It was considered TKO. The next one wasn't very exciting. Alex Moreno beat David Zawada in a decision. The co-main, Tom Aspinall, Sergey Spivak. Heavyweights. I've seen Tom Aspinall fight a couple times. He's like a young up-and-comer. I think he lost his last fight. Oh no, he won his last fight against oh man, I can't remember his name. He's an up-and-comer, also from England. I think he got the knockout in the first round. Yeah, first round knockout. It was not much really happening. It was pretty much just like 2 guys each waiting to throw a big bomb, and then he pretty much landed it. Yeah. 2 minutes and 30 seconds in. I think the kid was saying himself, he's like, I don't think I'm ready for I don't know, it was weird. He didn't seem very confident. He was saying, you know, like, he was like, I don't think I'm ready for, like, the Stipe's and those guys, but, you know.
Probably isn't. He's just being honest with himself.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's supposed to be a black belt in jiu-jitsu, so I'm surprised that, you know, we didn't see him try to use that. I think also the other guy took this fight on short notice, because I think Tom Aspinall was supposed to fight somebody else. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was supposed to fight for somebody else, and they got COVID or something. The main event, Derrick Brunson, Darren Till. I think I called this one. I think I said, you know, that Brunson would get him because he's so much bigger. And I don't know, Darren Till seemed like a little out of shape to me. I mean, he is fighting in a weight class up, but he seemed a little out of shape. I don't know. When they were standing up, he looked good. You watched this one too, right?
Yeah, I mean, I saw good striking from Darren Till. I know he got taken down in that first round, but I think in the second round, right, he stuffed a lot of takedowns and continued with the striking. Third round, I thought was his best round up until he finally gets taken down again. And
he even hurts him. I think he hurts Brunson, and then gets taken down.
Right.
And then that's when he finishes him. Yeah, he pretty much he hurt him. I think Derrick hit him with the Darren Till hit him with the left, and then Brunson went for the shot. He took him down. Till like tried to kick him off, and then somehow like Brunson ended up like right on, like in full mount, like right on top of him. Started grounding and pounding. And then, what you usually do is you just give up your back in that situation because there's nothing you can do. So he gave up his back and just got, pretty much gave up the submission, got choked out. Yeah, Darren Till didn't seem. I mean, like you said, like on the feet he was doing good, but he couldn't do anything about the takedowns. Derrick Brunson's big. He's a big guy.
Yeah.
And his ground game's pretty vicious. Like his wrestling and ground and pound, like he beat him up in the first round. Like he had him in a couple positions. He had him in a couple positions the first round where they could have possibly stopped it if he wouldn't have kept moving. But yeah, he beat him up. He fucking had his eye all swollen up in the first round.
A lot of ground and pound.
Yeah. So really impressive win for Derrick Brunson. I think this is his 5th in a row. So of course he called out Izzy. He wants the title shot again. Izzy beat him pretty good, pretty decisively the first time they fought. But that was like years ago now. I think that was his last loss. I think Derrick Brunson lost to Izzy. Izzy, I think, got his title shot after that, and then Brunson went on a 5-win streak. Called out Izzy again. Nice. I don't know how that fight ends. I mean, I don't know how if it ends any differently this time around. Derrick Brunson's wrestling does seem really good and top notch right now, but the only person that we've seen able to take Izzy down really is when he fought Jan Blachowicz for the light heavyweight title when he went up. Other than that, like the Italian guy that Izzy fought last took him down a couple times, but didn't really do much. I mean, even Jan didn't really do too much, but he was just able to hold him down pretty much the entire time. Yeah, I mean not the entire time, but able to hold him down enough where he was controlling him.
The rounds and
pretty much controlling the fight. So yeah, I mean I think Izzy knocks him out. I think Izzy's on a whole other level. Like in the middleweights, I don't think he could be touched pretty much right now. We see everybody. We think that about a lot of fighters, and then eventually somebody comes along. There's always somebody better coming. Somebody coming up. But yeah, Darren Till, I don't know, man. This might be like his second loss in a row, maybe third, but I would say out of his last 5, he's probably lost like 4. He might have 1 win in there. So I don't know what he does. It's gotta be really hard on fighters like mentally now, like him, like now he's in a situation now where he's all these losses and the fucking, I don't know if you've seen the memes, but fucking internet was fucking tearing him apart.
Yeah.
With like the memes and shit. So yeah, I don't know what he does. I think he was the only. It's crazy too. I think he was the only fighter from the UK that didn't win. All the other UK fighters won. On the UFC card. And then I watched the Contender Series on I think that was Tuesday night. I think that just started back up. It was like the first week Contender Series.
Yeah.
Those is pretty good. I mean, those fights are really hit or miss. Like it's usually either like a crazy knockout or it goes to decision. The standout was AJ Fletcher. He fought Leonardo Domani, Italian guy. AJ Fletcher is from Louisiana. I guess he fights out of whatever gym Dustin Poirier fights out of down there.
Okay.
I guess he was saying that he's like one of Dustin Poirier's main training partners down there.
Nice.
And yeah, it was really impressive. I think it was first round. He knocks him out with a flying knee. I think you posted on the Instagram account. Yeah, it was crazy. The kid looked really good, really explosive. Like everything he did was really fast, really sharp. He definitely looked like he knew what he was doing in there. More so, like you can see the difference with these guys. The Contender Series guys, I think, are a little more ready than like the Ultimate Fighter guys. Yeah. From that we saw last week. Like those fights were like real sloppy. These fights were a little better. I think AJ Fletcher's the only one that got the contract. The other 2 fights went to decision. Also, a little fun fact: Laura Sanko, it was her first time doing like color commentary. It was actually the first time UFC ever had like a female color commentator, so they kind of made it a little big deal about that for her. So that was pretty cool. That was pretty much it as far as UFC fights. I mean, it was alright card. The next fight night, September 18th, is Anthony Smith and Ryan Spann. That doesn't really sound too exciting. But yeah, there's no one else on that card yet, so they must still be building that one. Other things in UFC world. Miesha Tate's next fight got announced with Ketlin Vieira. I think that's gonna be on the October card. That should be a good fight. The Vieira chick is ranked, so Miesha Tate's taking on ranked opponents. I don't think they ranked her yet after her first win. But it should be fun to watch her fight again. And also, Zhang Weili, the Chinese chick, she's fighting Rose again in the rematch. So it was announced that she's going to have her training camp in the first time in the U.S. She usually has it in China. And I don't know if you follow her, but if anybody follows her, like she always has like really like weird like training fucking things they do. Like the things they do is like just really like crazy things, like picking up like random things, and just like the type of movements they do is like just I don't know how to explain it. Like it's just very different. They're fun to watch sometimes. So I guess she's gonna be training here now. She's gonna be training supposedly with like directly with Henry Cejudo with this fight.
Nice.
So seems like she's gonna try to wrestle this time.
Yeah.
Which should be interesting. That should be very interesting. I think a lot of times, I think that's dope though. I feel a lot of times fighters come from their certain gyms and they don't want to, get help from other people or other coaches and shit. So I think that's dope. I think that's only gonna make her better. You know what I mean? Adding other people to her team. So that should be interesting. If she uses her wrestling against Rose, that could be like a whole other thing. I think Rose's jiu-jitsu is good, but if Zhang Weili, just like when you look at them, you instantly think that she's bigger. Like I think Rose is taller, but Zhang is so like stocky. She's ripped. Her arms are huge. If she can use her strength and take her down, that could be a whole different thing. So that should be fun. The only other thing I wanted to talk about UFC stuff was the gloves. Like I forget what was the last fight, but there's been a lot of them. The last couple, or for a while now, eye pokes has been like such a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, and it's so like annoying, and it happens all the time. And in the UFC glove, it almost like naturally makes your hands go like that. It doesn't like make your hand go close it. I don't know why they don't just like make a glove that kind of forces their hand down like into a fist. But then I thought about like I guess the jiu-jitsu guys probably wouldn't like that because you wouldn't be able to have as much motion with your hand to grab and shit, right? Like
it might like mess up the dexterity and all that.
But the eye pokes is getting so annoying. Like it's really affecting so many, I think, results of fights and shit, and it's crazy. And and certain fighters like Stipe, it's kind of affected his career. Where now he has like a bad eye. Bisping, I don't know if his eye got poked, but he has like a fake eye. Like he said his last couple fights, nobody knew, but he was fighting with one eye basically.
Yeah, that's nuts, man.
That's crazy. So I just think like they should UFC has to address that, and they gotta fucking make a change. Like do something about the gloves. I don't know, something. The eye pokes is getting annoying.
Yeah, I don't like
It's almost
complain
like
about something when I ain't got a solution, but I feel you, man. Those eye pokes do get ridiculous. And I remember the one fight. I can't remember who it was, but he poked him like 3 times in like the same round. Didn't the fight get stopped after that or something? Like,
yep.
Yeah, it was nuts, man. But I don't know.
It happens a lot. You could say it kind of was a deciding factor also in the. Not deciding factor, but it had a huge impact when DC fought Stipe for the 3rd time.
Yeah.
I think because in the second fight, Stipe says that DC poked him, and in the 3rd fight, Stipe poked the DC, and at the end of the fight, DC said he couldn't see out of his one eye that he got poked out of, and he lost. He lost via decision. So yeah, it just sucks, and I feel like it's like unlike like in boxing, like let's say like headbutts. You can't really do nothing about that, but I feel like you can do something about the gloves. Like you can do something about it.
Yeah, just find a way to modify them, I guess, because that's.
And I've seen people I've seen like when they train, like when you see MMA fighters training, they train with gloves like that. That kind of make their hands go down, their fingers go down. So I don't know why they just don't make a glove like that, but I don't know.
Yeah.
UFC seems to not like to change things like that, especially when other people are complaining about it.
Yeah, so I forgot to mention that Sunday night, Jesus Ramos, Hot Points, Brian Mendoza, and I think a 10-rounder. Not much to say about that. Dominated, looked good. I didn't get to watch it because I was having problems with my provider, but, caught some highlights and things like that. So, in the boxing world, got a couple things going on. If you paid attention, we didn't really post this because I didn't want to get involved until I had all the information. Oscar Valdez testing positive for a banned substance, phentermine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he has a fight. He had a fight next week, this coming Saturday. So waiting on a B sample. B sample comes back, and I guess it's still positive.
That's a
The
PD.
WBC didn't strip him of his title, and the fight is still on, apparently because it was a small amount, and phentermine isn't a it's not a steroid. It's like a fat burner, I guess. It can be used to help make weight, to cut weight rather, and make weight. It's kind of fishy. It's kind of shady. I don't like it. Nobody likes it. A lot of people were complaining about it. But so the fight is still on, man. That's crazy. The WBC basically doesn't think that this is enough to cancel the fight or whatever. They're still gonna have it be a title fight. One thing there is to say though, I don't know the whole rules because I know there's different anti-doping agencies.
Yeah. And
so apparently they have different rules too, and there's different things that you can use while in training versus in the week of the fight
or night of, or
yeah, right. So apparently what he was taking was allowed during training, but not the week of the fight. I think that's why the WBC is doing it. Still going on with the fight. But you never know. That raised a lot of eyebrows because Oscar Valdez trains with Eddie Reynoso, who also trains Canelo, Ryan Garcia, and Andy Ruiz. A lot of people think that all those guys are on some type of, Canelo did get banned.
some kind of Mexican substance.
No, it was clenbuterol, but yeah, it was the Mexican meat. That was a story. I think that was true. A lot of the circumstances proved it to be true. The same amount of traces and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
I think he passed his the hair follicle drug test. So he was in the clear for that. When Ryan Garcia pulled out of his fight with the mental health thing, people said that he was using that to get off a steroid cycle. But Ryan Garcia has always been
kind of lean, right?
Cut up and then Andy Ruiz, him losing, all that weight as fast as he did, and people thinking that, that might have been there. I don't know.
But I feel like it was kind of known that he wasn't training as hard, and he kind of put on weight.
Yeah, well, when he was champion.
Yeah,
and
that's what I mean. So after that loss, I think it was once he started training, I'm sure it was pretty easy for him to.
Plus, remember Oscar Valdez, he got that nasty knockout against Miguel Berchelt when everybody thought that Berchelt would be the one to knock him out.
Yeah,
and I'm like, nah, but it's crazy, man. So we're gonna see him. His fight is on, and a lot of people aren't happy about that, bro. The boxing Twitter world was exploding the day that verdict was announced, bro. It was crazy, man. So Oscar, we posted this, but Oscar, caught COVID.
Yeah, man.
And now he's being replaced with Evander Holyfield, yo. That's
crazy.
I
couldn't believe that.
How you take something that's already a freak show, a circus act, and just make it even more like laughable and like no disrespect, man, but damn, man, yo, he's like 60, bro. Like,
Yeah,
I don't think
crazy.
he should be getting in the ring. In fact, yeah, like
he shouldn't be getting hit in the head.
You're the one who told me that California State Athletic Commission didn't want to sign off on the fight, so they had to move the fight to Florida. That's that dirty shit, man. But I guess we're still gonna watch it, right? You know, I wanted to see Oscar, but.
So, do you think Oscar still schedules another fight then? He seems like he wants to fight.
Yeah, it seems like it. I mean, as long as COVID doesn't, like, you know, apparently the older you are, the more it affects your, like, respiratory and your ability to train and things like that. So, we'll see. But I know he wants to. It's just a question of if he can. But yeah, man. So Caleb Plant is training with Andre Ward
for the Canelo fight.
In preparation for the Canelo fight.
Very interesting.
That is.
Since, you know, Ward is the guy that people always wanted to fight Canelo, right?
Oh, yeah, man. I would have loved to see that. I still think Ward could beat Canelo because he's always been in shape. Yeah. So as long as he would just have to take like a fight or two and then take Canelo, I think he could beat him. But Caleb Plant, man, it's just a matter of his power and the ratio of like his power and the punch that he could take. Because I've never seen him fight anybody who could hit as hard as Canelo, even close. And I've never seen him, you know, fight anybody even close on the level.
Is he tall? Is he a lot taller than Canelo?
Yeah, he's big, man. He has a size advantage and maybe even a speed advantage too. You know, it's just like Canelo's good, man, and it might take him a few rounds to figure Caleb Plant out, but once he does, you know, he's gonna start landing those counters, body shots.
I was gonna say, I think that's the only thing with the taller guys. I think Canelo actually does better because of the body shots.
Yeah, he has a bigger target with that longer torso. That's
I feel like he don't gotta like reach
Callum
down
Smith.
versus just fucking.
His fight against Callum Smith, man, like he couldn't miss, man. Yeah. And it's just a matter, like I said, of how Caleb Plant will respond to that. I mean, if he could take those shots and then give some back, and if he has the power to you know, back Canelo off, you know, move around, use his size, use his speed, use his reach, you know, we might be lucky enough to see a controversial win for Canelo. Yeah. Because you ain't beating him on the scorecards, bro. Like, that, you know what I mean? That's just the way it is for Canelo. Nah, you really have to beat him. He's one of those guys. You know, a lot of people in combat sports are like that. John Jones was like that. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those guys that you can't just, you know, slip away with a victory. You have to beat him very convincingly.
And we've seen that a couple times with John Jones. We've seen him like 2 fights where it's like, damn. Like after the fight, I was not sure if he won.
Right. The Reyes fight comes to mind, and the
Reyes one.
Gustafsson was a long time ago, but still, he was still the guy. Yeah. You know, and Canelo, same thing. I mean, you know, you look at like the first Triple G fight. I thought Triple G won that. Yeah. People thought he lost the Lara fight. And then I think the biggest one is the Mayweather fight. Obviously, he lost that fight, but just the simple fact that one of the judges scored it a draw. I mean, that's like the most telling part of Canelo's like. The tainted part of Canelo's legacy is that first, you know, this young guy, how did he get, you know, whatever. I don't want to get into that. Nonetheless, interesting to see what Andre Ward could teach Caleb Plant. I didn't think that Caleb Plant needed help learning. He knows how to box. I know that. You know what I'm saying? Caleb Plant knows how to box. He's good. It's just a matter of showing us if he has the capabilities, you know, the power and all that stuff. So
I mean, I'm sure it can help to, you know, get a little advice, a little, you know.
And we probably gonna miss that fight if we're gonna go to the 268.
Oh shit, that's right. I forgot about that.
They're on the same night. I hate that, man. I don't know why they do that to us.
Yeah. Where's that fight gonna be, in Vegas?
I believe so. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, unless we split ways, I can't do that.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And it would probably be around the same time, right? I wonder what they would do. I mean, they made Canelo wait before.
I definitely ain't gonna buy a pay-per-view just to watch it on my phone.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm at a stadium and the main events are on at the same time. I'm like, shit.
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure that out.
I mean, we're probably gonna have to miss it, for real. Or I guess somebody to film it for us.
Yeah.
Tape it.
I mean, I'm sure we could watch it after, like right after the. If we end up going, we could probably watch it afterwards somewhere.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all the. I mean, they got the AJ and the Usyk fight. The 25th. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I'll give a little breakdown as we get closer to it, and give you a prediction as well.
Word.
But that's all I got.
Yeah, I don't really got anything else.
On this Labor Day. So
Labor Day weekend.
Thank you for tuning in. Until next week, my name is Manny.
This is Alberto.
And we out.
Peace.